Camila Cardoso plays. Like, I really love her.
She got that true big man game, like that old school, like I'm putting it on the... I told my wife the other day, I say she does not miss no shots on the backboard. Like, none. Fundamentally sound. She turns around over the shoulder, off the backboard. But
I think depending on which team she goes, she could really make a big impact, like almost immediately, because the way she plays, she's going to play both sides of the ball. She's not afraid to go in and get like the offensive rebound. She's not afraid. She's also 6'7", so it's like
can't coach 6'7"
already make you special.
Yeah.
Because who is really going to guard you?
Exactly. So you now I'm gonna tell you something else that's been circulating. Now I know you've been seeing too that a lot of, like you said, you can't take away what Caitlin done. Amazing player. A lot of the GOATs in the sport, some of the older ladies are saying that, can you be considered a great without that championship? I got my opinion on it. I want to hear your opinion on what do you think? Can she compete? Because they was like in separate rooms. Now you got your greats, but you got the ones that get it done and won. So what you think?
I understand both sides of the argument. Because, growing up, like, watching the NBA and stuff, too, there are some greats in the NBA that never got a ring. But I do think it is something special that you can't deny. Like, you finished without a championship ring. Like, and I appreciate all the attention that she has brought to women's basketball, because without her, nobody would have been watching, like, at the depths of which they were watching or following.
Yeah, you got to give her props.
So I think, she definitely kind of entered that space and made it like, oh, everybody wants to, like, watch and see what's going on in this basketball. She definitely brought a lot of attention. And I thank her for that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the WNBA for her. Because now you're going to be on a team with even more talented people than what you've been playing with for the last 4 years. No shade to her teammates. Like, she has great teammates, but she's also a great playmaker to make them look good and highlight, hopefully you're not missing layups and wide open threes if y'all have all day, because you're drawing a double and triple team. But now the landscape is kind of changing. So it's going to be interesting.
Is lightning in a bottle this year, or can women's basketball sustain the momentum that they picked up? Because it's rolling right now. Like, everybody's tuned in. Like, for college basketball, it's like the women's ticket is the hot ticket in town now. Do you see these young freshmen, these stars here carrying the torch and keeping this momentum going? Or do you think like, we just had the right people this last 4 or 5 years stretch that kind of elevated the game? Because Caitlin Clark, like you said earlier, she's transcended the game as far as just, and it could be multiple reasons why she transcended the game and getting pushed and elevated so lofty. And because I've seen some of this before, but I know sometimes it seems like everything's new now. But do you think we have the people now in place that can push the torch and go forward?
I think there is talent. There's undeniable talent. But it's just a matter of if the media is going to cover it in the same look they have been covering it. Because when I think about Caitlin Clark and the media coverage that she has been able to bring, I almost think of it too as like this like Larry Bird type situation for the NBA, where we are waiting just to see like what is going to happen. Like all eyes is on him. All eyes have been on her. But there's other talented players. There's other, granted, maybe they're not scoring as much as her. That has a lot to do with how the team was built around her and, the conference that they're in as well. But like, I don't know. I don't know that the media says, hey, do we shift and move with Caitlin and then we forget about women's college basketball? I think it's going to be really interesting to see. I know they're going to follow her.
And I feel like at the end of last year, they very much so made it the media. Yes. I'm not saying everybody who's watching, but the media, I feel like they made it almost like a black versus white issue that carried into this year and only got built upon because we see like how the press was talking about LSU, like even into the tournament. I know it was retracted now. The dirty debutante comment.
That was wild.
But yeah, so like even that's been edited now, but it was still put out there. So I feel like they